All right, let's get right into it. Today, we are grabbing our magnifying glasses and digging into one of the biggest mysteries in the entire world of gaming. We're going to piece together everything, the patents, the marketing habits, the secret code names, to finally crack the code on the next legendary adventure in Hyrule.
So let's state the obvious. Tears of the Kingdom was incredible, a total masterpiece. But you and I both know that the second those credits finished rolling, every single fan had the exact same thought. Okay, when's the next big one? It feels like we just got this amazing game. But hey, the clock is always ticking.
Now, to figure this out, we can't just throw darts at a calendar. No, we have to look at the data. We have to get inside Nintendo's head and understand their very specific, very deliberate playbook for how they handle their most treasured series. It's a code, you know? And today, we're going to crack it.
Okay, so first thing you have to understand is how differently Nintendo treats its two biggest stars. Mario gets what we call a surge strategy. They'll announce a game like Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and then, boom, it's in our hands just 4 months later. Quick and intense. But Zelda, Zelda is a titan. It gets this massive multi-year slow burn rollout that's built for maximum earth-shattering impact.
And this is not a new thing at all. These long waits are the stuff of legend. I mean, even way back on the N64, we waited exactly 3 years for Ocarina of Time after we first heard about it. That's 1,000 days of pure anticipation.
Then, with Breath of the Wild, Nintendo pushed this whole strategy to its absolute limit. It was first teased way back in early 2013, but didn't actually come out until March of 2017. That's over 4 years, the longest and maybe most agonizing wait in the entire history of the series.
And Tears of the Kingdom just proved this wasn't some kind of fluke. It followed the exact same Titan playbook, taking nearly 4 years to get from that first kind of spooky teaser trailer to the game we finally got to play. So it's official, these huge gaps are just the rule for modern 3D Zelda.
Now, these multi-year waits, they seem like a bad idea, right? I mean, announcing a game that early can lead to something marketers call hype decay, where everyone just gets tired of waiting and the excitement fizzles out. But somehow, Nintendo has flipped this on its head. For Zelda, the wait itself becomes part of the marketing magic.
So if we know the long wait is intentional, then the clues about what's coming next must be hiding in plain sight. And by digging through some of the more technical documents and hardware leaks, we can actually start to piece together a pretty clear picture of what this next game is gonna be. And this is where it gets really juicy. The first clues are coming from patents. Nintendo has filed for this thing called a simultaneous environment layering system, which insiders are calling dimensional phasing. Just imagine running through some old ruins, and with the press of a button, you instantly phase the world around you back to its glorious prime. We're also seeing stuff about a much smarter companion system. Plus, Monolith Soft, the absolute masters of world building, are taking a lead creative role. This is huge. And get this, even the new hardware itself is giving us clues. The lead Switch 2 Pro controller has a dedicated C button. Now, why would you add that button back unless your biggest, most important launch game was being designed around it? It practically screams a return to the classic item mapping from Ocarina of Time. We're even seeing job listings that confirm they're building a pipeline to share 3D models between the game and the new live-action movie. Okay, so everything points to a massive, brand new game that's going to take years and years to make. We're talking a 5, maybe even 6-year gap. In the gaming world, that is an eternity. So that begs the question, how on earth does Nintendo make sure we don't just forget about Hyrule in the meantime?
Well, they use this absolutely brilliant dual-track strategy. See, while the main team is heads down building the next giant 3D Titan, another team, often a partner studio, is working on smaller titles we call bridge games. These are usually remakes or new 2D adventures designed specifically to fill that gap and keep us happy.
And you can see that strategy playing out perfectly right here. We got our Titan, Tears of the Kingdom, in 2023. Then, just a year later, we get the bridge game Echoes of Wisdom. For the big 40th anniversary in 2026, all the signs are pointing to another bridge game, codenamed Project Bernard. Then the movie drops in 2027, it's all leading perfectly to that predicted release for the next Titan. It's this beautiful, orchestrated plan to keep Zelda top of mind for years.
All right, let's put all the pieces together. We've looked at the marketing playbook, the patent filings, the hardware leaks, and the whole bridge game strategy. It is time to connect all the dots and build our final, most likely, forecast.
This right here. This is so important to get. Tears of the Kingdom was technically a direct sequel. It reused the Breath of the Wild engine, and it still took over 1,400 days to make. Now think about those patents, that new hardware, a brand new game engine to handle dimensional phasing, built for a new console with a new controller. That's why the next Titan has to be a ground-up project. And that means its development is going to look a lot like the longest one in the series, the 1,500+ days it took to build Breath of the Wild from absolute scratch.
So when you lay it all out, the roadmap becomes unbelievably clear. You get a small tease for the Titan at the 40th anniversary, followed by the Project Bernard bridge game for the holidays, then you let the movie totally dominate 2027 and drop the first real trailer right after it's in theaters to convert all those new movie fans into gamers. This whole thing perfectly sets up the final game to launch right when the Switch 2 will need a massive system seller.
So yeah, when you put all the data together, the development cycles, the hardware life cycle, the movie synergy, every single piece of evidence points to one target. The next Titan Zelda is coming in 2029.
But you have to ask, why does Nintendo plan things this far in advance? Why go through this incredibly complex, nearly decade-long strategy? Well, it's because this careful, meticulous planning is exactly what makes Zelda the absolute crown jewel of their empire. And it's what ensures the game we finally get is a true masterpiece. I mean, just look at this 4-step plan. It is an absolute masterclass. They anchor future console sales with just a simple promise. Then they harvest immediate profit from our nostalgia with a bridge game. They use the movie as a giant marketing funnel. And then they drop the final Titan to completely revitalize the console right in the middle of its life. It's brilliant.
And don't just take my word for it. This comes straight from the top. Nintendo's president himself, Shintaro Furukawa, has basically said that for these huge anniversaries, it's about way more than just games. It's about a coordinated, multi-year plan to expand the whole brand into a cultural event that lasts a decade.
So there you have it. The case is laid out, all the evidence is clear, and the roadmap is pointing straight to 2029. But we have to remember who we're talking about here. This is Nintendo, the undisputed masters of the unexpected. The data gives us the most logical, sensible path, but what do you think? What's the one wild card out there that could change everything? Thanks for watching.